हाय वेलकम बैक टू सैयम। आई रियली होप कि आपने इस पॉडकास्ट का पहला पार्ट जरूर देख लिया होगा। अगर आपने वो अभी तक नहीं देखा है तो प्लीज वॉच दैट वीडियो। सो विदाउट एनी डिले लेट्स मूव टू दिस पार्ट ऑफ द पॉडकास्ट। लेट्स गेट गोइंग।
When Rakhi, you and Bhushan eventually got to terms with the fact that there is something called autism, which your child has. What was your definition of it that time?
See, most of it, the definition was what Google. So more and more we researched. In particular, I researched for days after we got to know the diagnosis. More and more I researched. More and more human mind initially goes towards, by default, it goes towards the worst things. While Googling, seeing that, okay, what worst condition can the child be in? And more I researched, more and more I felt the fear even more. I started looking at the extreme cases, kids with severe condition. Then what happens to a child when the child grows up? Will he ever be able to live an independent life? And these kind of researches, जितना मैं indulge कर रहा था, more I was indulging into these, more fearful I was getting. So I did not know the real definition or the categories of mild to moderate to severe. No information about that, but I was just being fearful till the time we both sat together. We both said, okay, now we have a condition in front of us. We have to face it and take logical steps. Now whatever needs to be done needs to be done.
So जब आपको पता चला था भूषण, तब आई एम श्योर लाइक एवरी अदर पेरेंट देयर इज अ फेज ऑफ डिनायल, जैसे राखी ने बोला। उसके बाद एक फेज आता है जब आप बोलते हो कि चलो लेट्स गियर अप, वी विल डू समथिंग, व्हिच मे बी इज आल्सो नॉट द फेज ऑफ एक्सेप्टेंस, बट इट्स अ फेज ऑफ लेट मी फिक्स इट, आई विल फिक्स इट, यू नो। मतलब बिटवीन बीइंग यू टुडे where you are such confident parents and your child is doing superb, and between that denial phase, what courage did you need? How did you gather yourself up? What did you tell yourself? Chalo, we'll fix it. What was that initial change of thought or incident that made you do it?
So initially, yes, it was ठीक है, there is a condition, there might be a cure. It's like every parent does. कि कोई मैजिकल वॉन्ड होगा जिसको घुमाएंगे, कोई दवाई होगी जिससे ठीक हो जाएगा. And we did everything that anybody said. Okay, try this, try that, try allopathic. We tried everything. And slowly and gradually, when we spoke to the parents, when we spoke to the organizations, when we spoke to the doctors, we came to know that there is no cure to autism. It is a living condition in which the child need to adapt to the condition, adapt to the situation. There is a lot of effort that will go into therapies, that will go into a lot of love will be required. So it was an uphill task for us, and it was, to be very honest, it was very demotivating to listen that the child has a condition for which there is no cure, and we know that it is going to be a lie. It's going to be a very, very long struggle. So one particular incident, if we talk about, we went to we won't want to name the institution, but we went to a very renowned institution in Delhi and to basically consult and seek advice. And there were some doctors and therapists over there who told us that, okay, your child has autism and he will never be normal. He will be dependent most of his life for a lot of things. And you need to learn sign language to communicate with him because he has autism, there are very less chances rather he will not speak. That was a very, very, very demotivating things to hear about your child from somebody. And I still remember both of us came out crying from there literally. Like we were shattered. So that was one particular incident which both of us, we would never forget. And that was the day when we cried as much as we could. And in that moment, like we really decided that whatever this lady said or this person said is not going to be the destiny of our child. Our child will show up the way we want him to. And whatever it may take anything. we will do everything for our child. But this is not going to happen.
So Bhushan, the parents who are watching this may also be in that exact state right now. If you were to go back those many years, what would you not do?
The days or weeks that we researched about it, or we were into the denial, and okay, this is not the condition, this cannot happen to my child. We would not want parents to even waste that much of a time, because the initial years are very, very crucial, especially initial 5 years, 7 years, for the brain development, for understanding of a child, for developing the comprehension, language, speech, so many things. More and more, we went into the tunnel of, okay, this is wrong, there is something wrong, this report is wrong. And we went into the researching and not doing about it. There is no harm in researching, but only researching and not taking any action about it is something that we would never advise, and we faced that, we did that. Yeah. So that is something that we would advise the parents. The moment you get to know, get to the fact, if you need to double check. But once it is there, accept it as soon as possible and start taking actions. I know you're worried. I know that the subconscious level, there would be worries, there would be tensions, there would be stress, but at the same time, actions should not stop. Keep taking actions.
Yeah. Early intervention is what you're saying, is the key.
Exactly.
And most of the parents miss it. I know of very few examples who have not, or they were fortunate that somehow they did not miss that time. Most of the parents miss it. Yeah. One more thing related to this, Bhushan. So normally parents get to know, and we also have this next circle, which is of our family, our parents. Dada, Dadi, Nana, Nani. That's the closest that we go to next. I know, I have seen it in my family, what big pride it is when the grandchild is born, especially a grandson is born. How did you manage that? And that is where, again, it is Rakhi who may have been attacked. I would be happy to know if she wasn't. But normally when I speak to mothers, when I speak to families, I know how women get attacked. And that is such a trying time for a family, for a couple, for a parent. And then you have to gather the courage to say, okay, now we both have understood. Now comes the time to explain it to them. So first is their denial. Then comes their acceptance of the child. And then their acceptance of you. And then their support. So by the time you reach the stage of support, that's far away. Usse pehle to you need them to at least accept that this is what it is. Let us work hard on this. If you want to support us, you support us. How has that been? And if you could change something, what would it be? And if in some families that does not exist, then what would you do? I mean, I have so many questions because these are real scenarios that I've heard.
So, since it took us some time for us also to accept, and after that, telling the family, and we live in a joint family, about the concern. So obviously for us also, we face the same like any other, parent would have faced. And rather we talk about autism and such conditions so openly now after 16 years. So when he was diagnosed around 15 years ago, people had very little idea about it. Nobody talk or maybe knowing about this. So, as we told the family about, the child has been diagnosed and we'll have to go for the therapy. So obvious reaction was, you guys have gone mad. You don't have anything else to do. That is why you are after your child. He'll speak later on. What's your problem? He's just 1.5. You are after your child. And normally boys speak a little later. So all kind of criticism from both the sides, of course, maternal side and paternal side. So both grandparents were like, we have gone mad. But the moment, we took it as, okay, even if there's something, we are mad, we are okay with it. As long as it does something good for our child, or it makes things a little better, we don't mind calling ourselves as mad. So it's perfectly okay. Anything for our child. So for some time we faced like, people declared us as mad, and you're stupid people. 1 year, 7 months, and you are taking him to doctor thrice a week for some therapies that doctor is suggesting. He may be foolish, and so are you. And we said, even if that's so, let's do it. What's the harm? And after we accepted, because in the background we could listen for the concern that they had actually for the child. Their grandparents, they're even more worried than us. Maybe they don't know it the way doctor explained to us, and we googled and we learned about it. So they are saying from their own experience, but the ultimate thing is that they're also concerned. So when we got the concern in the background, we didn't mind people calling us whatever they call us, because after all, what's most important for both of us and for the grandparents also is the child. So we were fortunate enough that we could convince them that just please accept it. If it does something better, I'm sure you'll be even more happier than us. So just be with it for some time. And after therapies and after our constant efforts, when things started, they could also see some difference. Automatically that kind of acceptance started coming. You guys are actually taking care of the child, and it's okay if it makes a difference to the child. He is becoming better. Go for it. We were fortunate enough that not only it took us some time, but then that kind of acceptance, and then that support that we expect from a joint family also, that started coming up later on. It took some time, but then we all are human beings, and when it comes about our child, the ultimate concern for every either it is a parent, grandparent, cousins, is the love for the child. So if you really connect with that, I think things become easier. You get the concern of the person, things become easier to handle. So that's how.
Fair enough. That's good. This is good story. This is a good story that I heard. I hope this is how it remains in most of the families. And you're right. And I've spoken to parents who say that grandparents will say, "Arey, शैतान है, ऊधम करता है, अभी ठीक हो जाएगा."
Especially for boys, it becomes boys to or boys थोड़ा बोलेंगे, and it happens, and you get many examples. So and so 5 years की बात बोले थे, so and so. You hear a lot of stories also. We also heard that, but the thing was that we did not stop because of that.
Excellent. How big a role does validating the society, validating whatever you're doing with the society play? How much of a role did it play in these initial 14 years?
It plays as big a role as you allow it to play.
To help me understand, Bhushan, how did it start from the day you got to know till today, when you're celebrating him? I'm imagining it as a downward curve. How did you make it a downward curve? I'm sure you have to work in making sure कि बस हो गया, किसी को नहीं दिखाना, किसके लिए कर रहे हैं? How do you do that? It's very tough. कहना तो आसान है मेरे लिए. I know how tough it is. I work on it every single day with my son. I know it is tough, but how do you do it?
In fact, it's very challenging. And it started, and as he was growing, the typical symptoms started showing up. That he might hit somebody, or he would yell at somebody if he doesn't get something. So as all this was happening, we have seen even the near and dear ones, the close ones, separating their children from our child. You don't have to play with him. Just be there. And that used to hurt a lot. If the near and dear ones will not understand, then who will understand? So it hit us hard for some time. And then, we both talked about it, in fact. And then we actually talked about it that we can't change the society. Maybe, our nears and dears ones, or, somebody else, a stranger outside. We can't change anybody about to make an opinion about our child. And people will make an opinion whatever way they want to make it. We need to be strong enough to face it. Let them say whatever they have to say, and we'll do whatever is required for our child. So, initially for some time we actually initiated the conversation with little children in the park. Okay, would you like, what do you like? We started becoming friends with other children, so that they can be our friends, they can connect with us, and then we introduce them to Sainyam. Because children by default, when they are young, they're passionate, and it's very easy to take their support, the peer group support. What is difficult is to get the support from their parents, adults, the people who have grown up, so-called people who are intelligent. It's very difficult to take their support, the society's support. But we then, it didn't matter for us later on. We just, what is important for us is our child. So we didn't stop taking our child to any of the family functions, any of the parties, or any of the, wherever we used to go, we used to take Sainyam along. I don't remember any occasion that we left Sainyam behind, because, he will do whatever he'll do. He will do whatever he'll do, so what?
Rakhi, when did you become like this? When this is a learning?
Yeah.
Were you always like this, or in the beginning, when somebody would say something to you in a party, you would walk away with the child?
No, as I said, initially we used to hit very hard. Parents used to take away their children. Iske saath nahi khelna. It's not safe. It used to hit very hard. For a few months, we got almost a similar kind of reaction from a lot of nears and dears one. And then we, initially we were, agitated about कि कैसे लोग हैं, किस तरह के लोग हैं जो समझते नहीं हैं. And then, I said, when we talked about it, really, what worked in our relationship is, that kind of communication that Push was saying. He said, we can't change anybody or the society outside. In fact, we should be thankful to these people. What changed was our perspective towards others. Nothing else changed. People remained the way they were. What changed was our perspective. And we were thankful because they are showing us the reality. They're showing us, okay, this is how people are going to be. And we can't change anybody. We can't change everybody. अगर हम कर भी लेंगे कोशिश 1, 2, 3 लोगों से ले लेंगे support. Sainyam has to, we always prepared Sainyam to face the world. We have to prepare to face the world. कल ये 3 लोगों के बीच में नहीं रहेगा Sainyam. Sainyam has to go and face the world. So he needs to face the world right now. And we will support him the way we could. So initially was yes, it used to hit very hard. But then we allowed him to hit. We did not hide this from anybody. Right from the play school or whatever schools, or whatever neighborhood would ask, or in the park, if anybody would ask, we'll tell them. Yes, if they would ask कि क्या हुआ है कुछ बच्चे को, most of the time, if you allow our child to be, nobody will get to know also. But if people would ask, we would tell them, because there's nothing wrong with our child. He's just.
Rakhi, ऐसा लगा कि the day you accepted your child unconditionally was actually the day the society also accepted the child unconditionally. And it was us labeling the child as parents first by getting hurt by what people were saying or taking him away from the mall. अरे ये सीन कर रहा है, इसको यहाँ से हटा देते हैं, पार्टी में ये मारेगा, लेके नहीं जाते हैं, कहीं और लेकर गए, अरे ये थोड़ा रोना शुरू किया यहाँ से. तो कहीं ना कहीं we were the ones telling the society कि ऐसे बच्चे को ना यहाँ लाना ही नहीं. And then the society was getting trained कि अगर आप ऐसा कह रहे हो तो हम भी ऐसा कहते हैं. But the day you said, no, my child has to be everywhere, wherever, and he is like that, and I'm proud of whatever he is. So did you see a change in society?
If I think about it now, yes, it did happen, and it does happen. I'll share a very raw example because for this. I lost my hair at a very early age. Yeah, I am completely bald right now. And that was the time when I used to hide. Okay, there are patches, bald patches here. I'm losing my hair, and it used to hit my confidence a lot. And everywhere I see hair of the people only. And जहाँ पे भी जाऊँगा मुझे ना बहुत अजीब लगता था, and I used to be ashamed of it literally. And that was the time when I was ashamed. I stopped going to different places, and people stopped seeing me. The moment I accepted, I shaved it. The moment I accepted, I look awesome without hair. I accepted myself. I'm proud of the way I look. I go everywhere. I go online everywhere. I go and give lectures and give speeches. And the moment I accepted, I see everybody else accepting it. So inhibition कहाँ पे था? सारा का सारा inhibition मेरे पास ही था. The way I saw it, people are seeing it the same way. When I accepted it, everybody accepted it. Doesn't matter. So it's very, very rightly said. I mean, it's all about how you see it. And when you are comfortable with it, when you accept it completely, it doesn't matter. They accept it.
Yeah. Actually, this has been very informative. I think one of the most informative sessions happening that parents will definitely have a takeaway. The beauty, again, I'm repeating, the beauty of this session is that those are parents who are 10 years behind you. So I am really hoping that they do not commit the errors and waste the time, and they rather have takeaways from this session, and they do whatever you did in 1 year's time. I mean, why do you want to waste the initial years in denial or in societal validation, whatever? So I just hope they take that. Anything that you want to add that I have missed?
So initially, जब हम लोग लेके जाते थे ना संयम को कहीं पे, when people used to judge him, people used to call him by different names. He was seen as a taboo. Autism and there was no demarcation that mental health में there are these categories. Autism is a spectrum. कुछ था ही नहीं. For anybody who would behave a little offbeat, वो लोग उसको पागल बोलते थे सीधे.
Correct.
So ये जो conditioning थी ना, it used to fill our heart. Especially I'm talking about me. It used to fill my heart with hatred and revenge. Literally that feeling. कैसे बोल सकता है मेरे बच्चे को ऐसे यार? ये जानता क्या है मेरे बच्चे के बारे में?
Yeah.
And it was a very, very negative feeling. Later on, after some time, carrying this negative feeling with me was making me a rough person, was making me a dry person from inside. The moment I realized this, and I decided not to carry this feeling, not to carry this poison within me, and I learned to forgive people as well in that process.
कैसे किया पर ये? How did you do it?
I don't know. It just happened naturally. जब full हो जाती है ना बाल्टी, उसके बाद मतलब nothing else can go in, and you're full of it. At that moment, I decided not to carry it anymore, and I just wanted to give that bad feeling, give that poison away. So जब वो बाहर निकला ना, उसके बाद I could actually see the concerns of different people as well. That okay, if this person is actually saying his child not to play with my child because he loves his child and he's concerned about his child that he'll pick up some bad habits, maybe he'll also start hating people. तो उससे पहले वो जो दूसरे बंदे का जो कंसर्न और प्यार है मुझे नजर नहीं आता था, मुझे सिर्फ गुस्सा आता था. But after I realized that okay, I don't have to carry this poison inside me and be a rude person, be a dry person. I have a choice here. I have a choice not to carry this poison and rather fill it with something else. If I can carry flowers with me, why would I carry balls?
How much time did it take you to move from that emotion to this emotion?
Difficult to recall at this point of time, but there were a series of seminars and workshops that we did at that point of time to evolve ourselves personally as parents, personal transformation. I think it happened during those series of seminars and workshops that we did. It was about finding our new self. So that really helped, because so that's what we tell the parents to spend leisure time with each other, spend time in your own transformation as well, so that if we are a better version of ourselves, if I am a better version of myself tomorrow, I definitely will be able to give more of me and give better value to my child as well. So that was the phase, I guess. Yes.
and who you are as a person actually reflects in your children.
Absolutely.
If even
they
if
can
you don't
sense your
say
emotions.
Yeah, they sense it, they get it, because even if it is unsaid, it reaches to them.
Oh yes.
If you are always worried and always concerned, and if you are disappointed, the same kind of, I would say, emotion and energies get transmitted to your children as well, even if you don't do it deliberately. You are doing whatever you are doing, but it gets transferred around you. So it's we always say that parents need to take care of themselves. Most of the times we're just concerned about fixing the child, making him or her better, but then you as a human being need to evolve as a better another version of yourself. Because if you are if you are calm, if you are composed, and you are positive, the same kind of energies will be transmitted to your children as well. And we think that even if we are not saying, or our children are not understanding, but they're also human beings, they get it, even if it's late.
Yeah.
So work on yourself as well. Work on yourself. It's very important.
Yeah. I'll just add here something I read, and an autistic child wrote this, and he was a non-verbal autistic child, and he said, I spend my days pleasing my mother. So he spent days, weeks, months, and years pleasing his parents, just to see that smile and just to see that pride, because they were able to sense that my parent is very frustrated of the fact कि इतना सिंपल से काम ये नहीं कर सकता. उनको शक्ल पे दिख रहा है कि पेरेंट को गुस्सा आ गया. वो पूरी लाइफ अपनी लगा देते हैं अपने पेरेंट्स के फेस पे वो स्माइल देखने के लिए. जितनी जल्दी वो ये स्माइल देख लेंगे, उतनी जल्दी वो अपने पे काम करना शुरू कर देंगे. जितना देर से वो ये स्माइल देखेंगे, उनकी पूरी लाइफ आपको खुश करने में ही निकल जाएगी. वो अपने लिए तो जिए ही नहीं, क्योंकि दे कैन टेल. एंड समवेयर इसीलिए उनको वो प्रेशर फील होता है कि मैं कंपेयर हो रहा हूँ किसी से. उनको दिख रहा है कि मेरा कोई कजन आया, उसने ग्लास लिया, पानी भरा, पी लिया. मैं एक सिंपल सा यही काम करना चाहता हूँ. अगर मेरा मोटा मसल नहीं है, मेरे कंट्रोल में नहीं हो पा रहा है, पानी गिर रहा है, तो मुझे दिख रहा है कि मेरे मदर के फेस पे थोड़ा सा गुस्सा आया कि यार ऐसे छोटे छोटे टास्क वो करना चाहता है अच्छे से, कभी कभी बॉडी नहीं साथ दे रही. तो आई थिंक ये, मुझे नहीं पता ये लिटरेचर कहाँ मिलेगा, बट अगर ये पेरेंट्स पढ़ ले तो वो अपने बच्चे को बेटर समझ पाएंगे. जितना जल्दी वो समझ पाएंगे, ये प्रेशर हट जाएगा. बच्चे के ऊपर प्रेशर हटाना, मैं तो ऑल आई वांट फ्रॉम पेरेंट्स कि अपने बच्चे के ऊपर से प्रेशर हटा दो, तो वो अपनी जिंदगी तो जी ले, फिर वो ग्रो करेगा. जैसे भूषण ने बोला ना, वो सडनली उन्होंने देखा कि उसके बाद जब वो फ्लरिश करा, ये बिल्कुल ट्रू है. अभी तक तो वो आपको खुश कर रहा था ना, सब कुछ वो कर रहा था जो आप चाह रहे थे. So that's very true. Yeah. So thank you so much. It's been a long session. I enjoyed it. I always learn. I go back and I try to become a better parent. And I do that on a daily basis, consciously. So thank you for making me a better parent at the end of the session. And
thanks to you.
Thank you for inviting us to share, and also thank you for doing what you're doing, because it really makes a difference.
I hope even if it makes a difference to a couple of parents, because we speak to so many parents every day, and अभी वो बहुत शुरू के स्टेज में है, इसीलिए मेरे लिए ये सेशन बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. I really hope कि इसके बाद something changes, like you said ना, आप seminars में गए, something changed. I hope this session ये उनके लिए वो change लाए. So thank you so much for giving me your time, opportunity. Yeah. I will definitely meet you when I come to Delhi. I hope we can meet.
Most welcome.
Yeah. And all my love and best wishes to Sainyam. So thank you to him as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.